On the Jacob Viewer Show today, I am so happy to have Barry Zekelman on of Zekelman. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, Jake. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Well, first off, take me through. Obviously, when you were 19, you kind of took over the business. And that's a huge responsibility to build something into where you have gotten it today with everything that you guys own. How did entrepreneurial spirit flow through you directly at a young age?
I think it started long before that. From when you're a kid making a lemonade stand or fishing golf balls out of the creek to sell them at the side of the golf course to delivering papers and detasseling corn and cleaning up wood scraps from home construction sites and getting paid to everything. Right? I mean, I just wanted to be independent and wanted to be able to control my own destiny. And I love the sense of accomplishment. So, when you're doing something, making something, setting goals, and you have that sense of accomplishment, it's just great gratification. So it started really early on.
For sure. And for you, what is something that you would tell? Because obviously, when I was doing my research, I read when you were 19 years old. That's the same age
Yeah.
as me and a lot of the people who listen to my show.
Yeah.
So since we're in that age range, what is something that maybe you would do differently looking back on it if you would do anything different?
Yeah. Well. Look, I mean, it wasn't a really a choice of mine, right? I mean, I was in my first year of university, and I was trying to figure out just how many beers I could drink in one night, and I was doing a good job. Yeah, so I was building my beer wall, and of empty cans, and quite impressive. And my father passed away, and he had a small business that he was trying to get going, and it was losing money, and a few other things that he had done. He was an entrepreneur, and it was kind of sink or swim, right? I mean, to me, I was already bored with college, right? With studying. I was I wouldn't say I was going to quit, but I certainly would look for the easiest way out. And you know, him passing away, put me in a position where, oh, I think I can go run this, which was pretty naive and pretty crazy. The company was losing money. There were five employees, and I just didn't know any better. And we took that chance, and I don't know. I kind of had it in me, right? I always wanted to do something, and I was mechanically inclined. I was entrepreneurial enough and savvy, and I took that shot. And it was scary as hell, right? I mean, now looking back, what my son's 23, but when he turned 19, I looked at him, and I just looked at him like I look at you, and say, I thought I knew everything, man. I mean, I was scared, but I was full of piss and vinegar, and I'm going to make this work. And I look back today, and I look at your face, and I remember his face at 19, and I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? Um, you're just a young pup. But it just goes to show you that, just because you're young doesn't mean you can't do it. And doesn't mean you have the drive, don't have the drive and the spirit and the entrepreneurship and the ideas and the dreams. We do. We're all full of those. And I guess you just have to find the right thing to pursue, how to pursue it, and have confidence in yourself. Leadership is big, right? I mean, you're never going to do it on your own. You have to be able to build a team and have people believe in you and follow you like the Pied Piper to help make your dream come true. And I don't know that being in the tubing business was my dream. Um, uh, but it became my dream. I really got, you know, probably one of the most unlucky events in my life turned out to give me my life. The fact that my father passed away and died and his life was gone actually ended up giving me my life and the life I have today. Had he not have passed away, the business wouldn't have survived, and I wouldn't have had this opportunity or this chance to make a go of it and learn it from the ground up and do it. So, in one way, it was a very tragic event, but I'm a believer that you make lemons into lemonade, and No one has it that easy. We're all dealt some tough blows in life, and you just got to pick yourself up and grind through it. And nothing good is easy. And I just got really lucky, Jake. I got really lucky that that terrible event turned into my life, and I love it. I'd like to say that I haven't worked a day in my life. I mean, I this is my existence, and I dream it, and just do it every day. And it doesn't feel like work. It's a hell of a lot of fun.
Which is something that I hear from so many people that are successful in any industry, no matter it's astronauts I've interviewed, obviously, who are top of the line in science, or
Yeah, yeah,
yourself being a business leader, or anybody who's in politics, like Vice President Dan Quayle has been on the show. They love what they got to do to make it to
yeah.
that point. So, what is your thoughts on then the preparation and luck method? You mentioned that you were very lucky, but obviously, let's be real, you worked your butt off as well as your
Yeah.
brothers. You worked really
So,
hard to develop this. So where does preparation and luck meet to make that perfect opportunity in anything in life?
well, look, there's a great book, Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and the 10,000 hours of putting into something. I think you have to, I think you do have to become an expert in what you do and pay your dues and put your time in, and be savvy and good at that. I mean, everyone who's successful has put their time in, no matter whether you're a musician or a computer coder, some software guru or electronics guru or a manufacturer or an athlete, right? You put your time in. So, that's part of it. But I think that being well rounded in life is a huge part of a huge part of the equation. And having common sense and having empathy and going through and experience what other people go through, and having those experiences puts you in a position to be relatable, understand your surroundings, and have experience in that. So, when I say I had a lemonade stand and siphoned golf balls out of a creek and delivered newspapers, I did all those things, and I was a dishwasher for 265 an hour, and it was a tough job. I mean, I think that all soaking up all those experiences in life gives you a perspective on what's going on around you. You get a perspective of what other people are going through. You certainly learn what you'd like to do and what you don't like to do, or what you aspire for more. And you have to have that in your DNA, right? Not all people are cut out for what I do. While I say I love it, it's very tough. I mean, I don't think there's a minute that goes by that I'm not thinking about this, and that can become wearisome and tiresome and relenting, and a burden too, right? So you're paying your dues, but I think experiencing things in life will make you well rounded, and give you tools to adapt to the situations you're in. You have to know people. You have to be communicable. You have to talk to people, be able to communicate. You have to be engaging. You have to be a team builder. You have to be a consensus builder. That's why I get so afraid of this online um, type of environment we live in today, and the work from home environment. You got to be around people, right? It's a lot tougher seeing someone's emotions eye to eye than typing them on a keyboard. It's a lot tougher being in a plant that's 105 degrees on a summer day, understanding what people are going through, rather than sitting in an office looking at some numbers and looking at the statistics of that plant. That's why I get out there and understand what they're going through, and why productivity might be different in August in Blytheville, Arkansas, than it is in April, and understanding reality. So I'd say get out there and soak up as much of what's available to you as possible, and push your boundaries, right? You know, Understand what your capabilities are and train yourself to do more. Whether it's like being in the gym and weightlifting and building yourself up to bench press more, or running faster, or just being able to comprehend and absorb things in a different way and stretching your limits will enable you to push yourself to new heights, and you'll figure out where your limitations are and how to surpass them. And it's just it's being well rounded in life, I think, is a big thing to look for.
No doubt about it. Appreciate you sharing that. And obviously, something that's very interesting is where I go to Purdue University. Obviously, we're known for engineering. We got a
Yeah,
great mechanical engineering program. I am not an engineering major, but obviously, I'm doing okay on my own at the moment.
yeah,
And as I was doing research, with your company, obviously, you guys have tubing everywhere. I'm looking at it right in front of me right now. You have it in Long Beach, California, Farrell, Pennsylvania, Arkansas, you mentioned, all over Canada. How big of a play does artificial intelligence play in the future of tubing, in your opinion? I think that's a big tech question to ask you.
yeah. Well. So first off, we've been using AI and machine learning for decades. Actually, we're collecting that plant floor data, deciphering it now in a much more meaningful way. Where we used to collate it and decipher it based on what we could gather and put it on paper in the early days. You're doing it in nanoseconds now and getting that feedback. We're learning how our floor runs. We're learning how equipment runs different in different temperatures and seeing which suppliers perform differently on which machines. We're analyzing safety statistics in the plant based on time of day, hours of work, tenure of employee. So, the ability to collect all of this information, decipher it, and then make decisions based upon it at a moment's notice is a game changer. We have bots running in the background, shifting orders from one plant to another, or pulling material out of stock, applying it to an order. We're peering into customers' inventory and demands, anticipating their demands, and making sure we have product on the floor or already going out the door to them. So, we're increasing the velocity of the company. We're certainly enhancing the safety aspects for our teammates, giving them an environment that's better, cleaner, safer, more profitable, and better paying for them to work in and earn their living and create their future in their career. So AI is all a part of that. And the more that we can pull in and use those points for decision making that enhances us, it enhances everything, right? It's not just makes more profit for the company. It enhances the community that our facilities are in. It enhances the experience for our teammates. It provides them a much more safe and stable career. It enhances the communities and the fact that we can give back more to the communities. We can employ people in those communities. We can pay taxes in those communities. We can set up educational programs there. All of that's driven by enhancements in the business through AI. And we're going to go through a revolution here where a lot of our brain power that was used in really an inefficient manner, we'll be able to focus in much better areas and be much more adept because of AI and what it's delivering to us. And we welcome that. I mean, it's absolutely why America is America, right? I mean, we're 350 million people in a 18 or 20 trillion or 22 trillion dollar economy. I think now it's the most efficient country in the world. It's the most productive country in the world, and we're accelerating. And we're accelerating because of those freedoms, that ingenuity, that ability to create, that ability to dream. I think AI is going to just completely steepen that curve, right? It's no longer linear, right? It's exponentially enhanced and steepened. And I think in 2, 3, 4 years from now, and for a couple of years when you graduate, you're going to look back and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe that was the way we did it." So it's really an amazing time, and all of you in college and university right now should be very psyched up about what's going to be available to you and what you're going to be able to do with it. It's great.
For sure. And one other topic before I always like to close with some quick questions that are like 30 seconds is, what factor does teamwork play? I've interviewed obviously all sorts of people. You've built a huge company. And how does teamwork play a value in that when you have subsidiaries everywhere, factories, your corporate office, PR teams? How does teamwork play a big factor in your life?
Look, it's everything, right? I mean, someone once said to me, "Oh, you're a self-made man." No, no, I'm not. I didn't do any of this on my own. I did it all with a team, right? Every little bit. So, from the person who orders your parts in the tool crib, to the person who runs the machine, to the person who ships it out the door, to the person, people who take the orders and go sell the product. None of this happens without each other, right? So, it's all a big, cog, right? It's like when you look at the mechanics of a watch, right, inside a skeleton watch, and you see the little gears and mechanisms. The watch doesn't work if one of them breaks, and it's the same with teamwork, right? Purdue Boilermakers, man, you got a great football team. You look at the team. Well, the receiver doesn't catch the ball unless the quarterback can throw it, and he can't throw it unless you got guys blocking for him, right? And they don't know where to throw it unless you practice and run the plays and someone designs those plays. And you can't get out on the field unless you got an equipment manager. And you're not going to be in the right shape to play that game and win that game unless you got trainers and you got facilities to do that in. It's all teamwork. Life is teamwork. And if you're not prepared to play on a team, you're only going to go so far. And I would say it's going to be a lonely journey. So embrace it. Learn how to play on a team. Go play sports. Go play intramural sports. Go do other things. Go do line dancing, man. Figure out this, whatever. But be prepared to interact with other people, engage them, embrace them, lead them, and join them in that team journey, because that is how you will win and get there. It's everything.
For sure. Really appreciate you sharing that. And then just some quick questions. What is one of your favorite hobbies? I obviously saw you've done some racing at times. Um, what are your kind of favorite hobbies on the side?
Yeah, I'm an adrenaline junkie, so anything that's going to kind of get your juices flowing. But I've raced cars. I mean, I scuba dive. I'm learning how to kiteboard now. I'll wakeboard, I'll wake surf, I ski, I'll hella sled. I mean, I do whatever. I want to do it all, right? I mean, I want to experience it all, because I don't want to be extremely proficient in any one thing, because I don't want to get stuck on that. I just want to absorb it all. So I'm my own worst enemy in that regard. I want to do it all, but I work out a lot. I play tennis. I definitely like water sports. So all of those things. I want to be active, right? I mean, objects in motion tend to stay in motion, so I want to keep it that way.
For sure. And what is the best thing that has happened to you so far this year?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. I would. I mean, aside from my family being safe and happy and healthy and love what they're doing, I mean, it's really my company. I mean, the company goes through evolutions, and I would say that to see our people grow, to see our people meet their challenges, to see us achieve our goals, overcome our obstacles, and they're big and they're tough. I mean, this isn't easy. It's not just autopilot. Um, those things make me happy, right? It gives me peace. It's funny. My biggest problem is finding tranquility, right? Because if something slows down a little too much and it's all good, I tend to create problems. So I have something to solve, and that might be buy another business or keep going. I just can't help myself. But I would say the best thing this year has definitely been seeing our company go through a tougher period, and reinventing our golf swing, and coming out on the other side in much better position.
Awesome. And then the last one, what is the smallest country you've ever been to?
Well, Israel's pretty small. So I'm trying to think of any country
The
smaller than, well,
Vatican?
I mean, I have been in the Vatican, and I have been to Monaco. So you're right, the Vatican. Yeah, yeah. I guess the Vatican would be it, right?
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
And then
yeah. It was pretty inspiring. Yeah.
Pope Francis.
No, no, I did not.
And then kind of my last question is any other advice you would have? Obviously, not everybody goes to college who listens to my show. I'm from a small Indiana town, which is, even being in Canada across in Windsor, I grew up in Toledo, Ohio. not everyone's going to college. So there's
Yeah.
people who might listen who might be working at Caterpillar, maybe even for some of your subsidiaries or for your company. Um, just what would be your advice in general for everybody who's 19? Maybe they're in college doing good, or maybe they're making fine money in a blue collar job, but they want something else one day. They want to do better in something. What would you just say to them at the age of 19, 20, or 21?
Yeah, well, what I would say is don't discount anyone, right? I mean, going to college and university is great, but don't look down on someone who doesn't, right? I mean, not everybody is meant to go that route. I think actually we've done a big disservice to forcing people that do go that route and weren't meant to. Some people were meant to work with their hands and get their fingernails dirty, and they should be really proud of that. I know a guy who started an air conditioning company who was 15 years old and he sold it for $700 million, air conditioning repair, and never didn't graduate high school. I graduated high school. I didn't graduate college. So my advice would be understand that you can learn something from everyone, right? Um, a cleaning lady in a hotel knows how to do something better and different and maybe more efficient than you. Figure it out, learn it if you need to. Do not underestimate anyone. Do not look down on them. Look at them as peers. You can learn something from everybody. Embrace them. Embrace the people that are around you. Engage them, and absorb it all. But you'll find what interests you. Don't chase money. Chasing money, it'll run away from you. Chase what works for you, and seize every opportunity that comes your way. Don't be afraid to fail. Just because you fail doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means you tried something that didn't work. Try another thing. Keep going, and hopefully that drive will manufacture your luck and your position. And I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 of you aren't going to end up doing what you went to school for, and you'll see that. You're going to switch careers and switch jobs, but you're going to put yourself in a position to take those opportunities and accelerate. And it's great. I think you have the world in your hands, especially with all the tools that are out there today. And I'm envious of. I would love to be 19 again. I really would. So embrace it, go enjoy it, don't waste it, and take every opportunity that comes your way.
Well, Barry, it was such a pleasure to have you on the Jacob Viewer Show today. Thank
Yeah,
you
my
for
my
taking
pleasure, and
time out of your
thanks for.
busy schedule.
Not at all. Thanks for having me, and I appreciate it. And go Boilermakers.